So I thought I'd do a compare and contrast against the Shure SM58, which is what you can hear now, and the Samson Q7, which is this mic here. Because when I was looking at getting the Samson Q7, because it was in an Amazon daily deal, it was 20 quid, which is a bargain, I couldn't find out any information about it, and I thought, well, I might as well pick it up because it's 20 quid, and I may as well do a review on it, and I may as well do a comparison against the Shure SM58 whilst I've still got it, and we'll go from there. So I've just switched over to the Samson Q7, and as you can hear, it's a lot warmer, it's a lot more bassy, it's a lot more deeper, and it's perhaps not got the same dynamic range as the SM58. But as live performance mics, they're pretty much on par with each other. I mean, obviously, once you do post-production, if you really wanted to do that, or you want to put it through a mixing desk, they can sound the same if you really want them to. So yeah, this mic out of the box sounds bassy. I'm not going to put any effects on this whatsoever. I'm only going to normalize it and probably amplify it a little bit because it needs a bit of that. But really, it's, they are pretty much the same sort of mic. Once you do post-production on it, obviously, you can bring those low ends right up to be the same as the Shure SM58. And let's not forget that this Samson Q7 that I'm currently speaking with at the moment is a third of the price of the Shure SM58. The Shure SM58 starts at about 90 quid, goes up to about 150 at some places, depends on where you go. And this Samson Q7, I got it for 20 quid, but most times it costs 30 quid, which is stupid because it's such a great mic. And comparing it to the SM58 again, it's just a really great mic. I'll tell you what, it's really good with this mic. The Samson Q7 is really ideally suited for radio presenters out in the field because it sounds really bassy. It makes your voice sound really, really good. And there's hardly any handling noise on it. It looks really good, it feels solid, and it's a lot rounder than the Shure SM58. In actual fact, I do prefer the Q7 from a performance standpoint because it's heavier, so it feels like you can commit some violence with it, and it's also rounder, so it's a lot nicer to hold in the hand. Obviously, in a live environment, you're going to have a completely different sound because you're also going to put it through a preamp, you're going to put it through a mixing desk, and you're going to put it through some speakers, which the crowd's going to hear, so you're not going to get the same sort of sound you're hearing me through, because all I'm doing is plugging it straight into a Tascam DR40, not applying any effects to it, just leaving it as it is, just to give you kind of compare and contrast against the two. So in a live environment, it's going to sound completely different because you're not going to have to worry about handling noise because it's not going to matter on a live stage because you're going to have other things drowning that handling noise out. And you're not going to get some of the other noises either because there's going to be so much other noise occurring that it doesn't matter so much. But the Samson Q7 is really be fantastic for, say, outside broadcast. If you're a YouTuber and you're going to events and you can't really afford something like the Rode Reporter, which is this microphone I've got here, and you're not too fussed about having a mic flag because there isn't really much space on here for a mic flag, then you could go and get this. If you're somebody like a busker, this is fantastic for that. I've seen lots of beatboxers going around about. They usually have the Shure SM58, and actually the Samson Q7 would be perfectly a viable alternative to that. When you get really close, it's going to peak on the meter and it's going to blow out. But obviously, once you adjust the levels, it's all fine. But you can close talk it, and there's not many P's and B's going through that pop filter there at all, which is really great. But yes, as a live performance mic, absolutely fantastic. It definitely gives the Shure SM58 a run for its money, and definitely worth considering. And then lastly, just to end with the Shure SM58, this is the industry standard live performance mic. This is the one that everybody uses. This is the mic that that every live stage show generally uses, unless you want to go wireless, unless you want to do something funky, in which case you might have Sennheiser or Sony microphones. But the Shure SM58 has been industry leading for years and years and years, and the Q7 goes against that, and it goes against it really, really well. Say it's a lot warmer. Also, I think you don't have to add as much input gain. It's a lot hotter mic than the SM58, but I'm gonna have to have a look in that when I edit the video together to actually see that. But let me know in the comments what you think of the SM58 versus the Samson Q7. I'm really, really impressed with the Samson Q7 considering its price. It's really, really impressive, especially considering the Shure SM58 costs 90 quid plus. The Samson, I managed to get for 20, but usually about 30 quid, which is an absolute bargain. I mean, you could buy 3 of those for the price of 1 of these, which is absolutely fantastic. So leave some comments down below if you've got experience with both microphones. So let me know what you think of the two and what how this video has been, of course. And obviously hit me up on Twitter at AzzyChill, send me an email, Aaron@azzychill.com. And apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.